Welcome back on into the IEM Chengdu 2024 Close Qualifier. We are about to jump into map number 3 between Bad News Kangaroos and Grayhound. It's going to be an interesting one, Pilski. I don't know if we even expected necessarily to be needing 3 maps tonight, but they've been 2 pretty competitive maps so far, and Bad News Kangaroo, with the precedent set that they can beat Grayhound on this map, means it's all to play for.
I feel like from that game and the last 2 that we saw, I feel like Bad News Kangaroos right now could beat Grayhound on any given map. They have really shown that they have the potential to do so in this series alone. So let's see if they can repeat their victory last time around. Was a pretty well-rounded performance from all the lads, but Addict and hazr leading from the front last time in their victory. See if we can see a similar thing again. In this case though, Grayhound. Smoke from bottom side of T-Stair is going to be over onto top mid. See if they're going to get walk explode through that. Grayhound just denying information to hazr as they start to make some moves into apartments. This could definitely turn into an apps bust as Alistair gets a secondary smoke ready for, I'm assuming, Moto, but it seems like that has actually gone on the roof.
Yep. Well, it's just one of the new Inferno things that people are still getting used to, and hazr having already struck for a kill, PZ alongside him. Things are looking okay on the A site right now for Bad News Kangaroos, though you'd expect hazr should get chased down by the numbers, which will be an eventuality in the end. That said, double dualies for the retake alongside Brace with a little pop flash potentially for Addict and Hats. You'll still see this one being in the wheelhouse for Bad News Kangaroos.
Well, I think we're going to see the second apps explode of the round here on the retake.
Well, speaking of the flash, when that gets tossed in, looks like it'll go early and flash out vexite, which makes for an easy one from Addict. And Hats in there as well to try to clear things out of Pit. Now down to the 1v1. Brace needing to land just one shot, and that's all that will be required, as it is a headshot. Defuse is on just in time, and it will be Bad News Kangaroos who pick up the pistol round win.
So big win there for Grayhounds, for Bad News Kangaroos, might I say, rather, and they've gotten their CT side economy off to a good start. But on the other hand, as we often say, bomb plant there for the T side, going to allow them to buy up into this next round. A couple of kills to boot as well means that Galil's come out, AK armor, fair bit of util here on Dexter and Liaz, who go down to Deagles.
Inferno used to be a stomping ground for Grayhound, but obviously a lot has changed.
I mean, old Inferno used to be their pick in every best of 3 series without a doubt every single time.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, at this point, you can kind of consider it almost a new map. There's a lot of nuances that have changed up, and obviously with a new IGL in there as well, that may change things too for Grayhound. And it's a good start into round 2 for Bad News Kangaroos, with Hats getting those couple of kills onto the MP9. Cash in the bank, love to see it. And this round is looking phenomenal from Bad News Kangaroos.
Anti-force has gone perfectly. Grayhound flashing their way back into Banana on the timing. Dexter, 1-on-5 prospect with the Deagle. You can see just how low Hats is here. Underarm flash is going to catch him full bite. This is a bit of a high-low, unintentional high-low. Hold on, elbow spotted though. Dexter knows there's at least one on the boost.
Well, not anymore. Hats has gotten back to safety around the corner. It'll be hazr for the swing in the end, and PZ forced to trade. Gun for Hats, no upgrade. So still not a bad round for Bad News Kangaroos, particularly with the knowledge in mind that Grayhound will be saving into this one. That MP9 is going to be more than serviceable in the hands of Brace.
Anti-eco time. Looking to build up the cash here. Just gorgeous coordination there from Bad News Kangaroos. Excellent little pop flash timing there for Hats. Puts them in pole position, and then they punish both of the lurks on Carts and mid. Dexter looking confident. He was the top performer for Grayhound when they did actually drop this map to Bad News Kangaroos in the RMR best of 1 upper bracket game. RMR qual. Banana control taken here yet again. A position that Hats is all too familiar with, at times even in this Grayhound court.
Well, Inns has got a flash. Dexter's got a deagle. Liaz has a P250. Can they conjure some kind of magic with that? I have my doubts. But PZ in a bit of an awkward spot now. Just going to have to hightail it out. Gets out okay. Grayhound not interested in heading in his direction. Would rather go toward the A side itself, which is not the place to be. Addicts and Hazza have a very nice firing squad set up in the pit there, and it'll be 5 guns alive at the end of round 3 for Bad News Kangaroos. So this is about as good of a start as you could hope for.
Yeah. Usually you see the jungle wrap anti-eco from the T's because pistols are not really good in a lot of those tools. So Grayhound running the eco round into the jungle wrap. You can see why that doesn't work out too well for them. Especially when you don't catch the jungle side player on the rotation. Going to be banana control, the name of the game yet again here for Bad News Kangaroos. Bit of disruptive utility from the T side, but they will forfeit control for the time being. A lot of util invested early round here from the Kangaroos. Deep smoke down middle, smokes into banana, and a Molotov into second mid, but In still takes one through the smoke on banana here.
Oh, Brace, he still wants to play aggressive, doesn't he?
I mean, what's he going to fall back on? He's got no util MP9 armor. So if he plays this one stock standard default, he's probably going to lose the round anyway.
What gun did Hats have? Not going to matter. Won't be retrievable for Brace one way or the other. And Bad News Kangaroos, I guess at this point we'll be playing Inferno. And that is to say they've lost control of one side of the map, so they're just going to chill on the other side of the map and basically let Grayhound have this round. Unless Grayhound decides to go A for some reason. Would be a pretty surprising choice.
Sometimes happens. Ian's is basically money manning here, backed up by Dexter. They're just trying to work out what's going on, basically, and now that they see no one's B, that's where the bomb is going to trend as well. No reason to take any real risks from Grayhound here. Just playing the percentages, taking their time, working the map. And they're going to know this is a 3-man save towards a site. But the T's are not incentivized to hunt in this situation too much due to the fact that their money is worse than the CT side. So Grayhound setting up the net here. It does seem like they actually are interested in hunting. If they don't trade favorably here, though, it might not be so great for their T side economy. Like if they lose 2 or 3 guns here, it could be bad. It's started off well. Done that very well, trading 1 for 3. And you can see the patience really paid off for them. They slowly encroached the map, just take good spacing, good map territory, and in that case, that's worked out beautifully from them. CT's not able to defend the hunt very well at all there, unfortunately. And so Grayhound taking 3 guns away from the CT side here. They actually open up a pretty big reset window here. They can break the money of Bad News Kangaroos here in round number 5. They could be on for a bit of a tear on this T side.
Deep mid-smoke from Bad News Kangaroos. They're going to try and get up to some funny business here, but it looks like Grayhound want to fight that, and it hasn't worked out for Grayhound at all. Addict ends up getting a 2 for 1. Hazza maybe lucky to get away with his life, to be honest. It could have been close to a 2 for 2 trade, but the fact that Hazza has survived has meant that Bad News Kangaroos come out of that one ahead.
Yep, but having a man advantage doesn't necessarily mean you're taking the round on Inferno. CT side. PZ given a lot of responsibility here on the aggressive line. AWP over towards Banana. G-nade on the boost. Easy, nice one from PZ. Going to drop himself a Molotov for safety as well, further extending the advantage for the CT side. So Kangaroos looking like they'll avoid reset potential here and keep this game relatively close unless Grayhound can make anything happen in the 2-on-4, which is very doable. The double pit setup is a safe one for sure, especially Hazza, low HP on the MP9, baiting for Brace. It's a cute setup that the T's may not be ready for.
Vexite and Inns both tagged up as well, so it's not out of the realms of possibility that Hazza could get a bit of damage done himself. Molly deep into pit. Not going to clear out this position. Vexite's been spotted. A bit of damage there to Inns as well. Not sure where that ended up coming from. They're watching for Brace. They knew there was someone else somewhere. It ends up actually being a 1-for-1 trade, but vexite is activating. And all of a sudden the round is really thrown into chaos.
This would be an ace for vexite. 1v2. No kit on PZ, trying to retake this with an AWP. No idea where this T is positioned.
One Molotov to play with, but probably not going to be too useful. So it's really on to PZ to just figure out where on earth could vexite be. Is he going to check? Surely he's going to check. He's looking. He spotted him. And it'll be the round for Bad News Kangaroos by the skin of their teeth. Could have been a lot cleaner, though. That was a 2v4 that comes down to a 1-on-1. So it ends up being quite expensive for Bad News Kangaroos in the end, largely thanks to vexite.
Yeah, and vexite getting those kills, putting down the bomb. Gives Grayhound the opportunity to reset the CT money. Put them on double eco potentially here. Surely vexite can drop an AK. No, he's going to give an AWP to Alistair. So they want the T-side AWP here. It's a pretty big swing round. See what we're going to get. Looking like, once again, banana control seems to be the name of the game for the CT side, but heavy disruption here for Grayhound. Disruptive utility, and Inns makes his way very deep up on half wall here. See Bad News Kangaroos ready with that pop flash timing yet again. Hats gets sent in, but doesn't find anything.
Still looking. Wasn't expecting Inns close on his right. They won't do enough damage to find the trade. So it is just down to Brace now again to try to hold on to this B site with the MP9. He's getting some reinforcements across, and Smoke's a pretty nicely timed one. Grayhound have just decided to go straight through that, and they've gone straight into the blender. Hazr and Brace with the MP9s doing more than is expected. Have actually put this into a winnable position again for Bad News Kangaroos. 2-on-2 retake. Addict and PZ to try to save the day.
Deep line from Alistair on con side, though. Needs to be something that they're cognizant of, but they've got to pick up the pace. No kits here for the CT side.
Yep. A couple of flashes for PZ, but not going to have anyone to flash in but himself. And in the back of his mind might be now starting to think about saving this AWP. The MP9's almost got it done. Brace needed maybe just one more kill there, but I think he ran out of bullets. And so Grayhound will get their second. Scoreline 4-2 though for Bad News Kangaroo is still not a bad spot to be in, but you're getting the sense that Grayhound are finding their way back into this map.
I'm interested to see what they do here on the side of the Kangaroos. The MP9s made their money look a lot better than you thought it would be, but Addict is still nonetheless double eco, so indeed they will force buy around the saved AWP. Try to give this one a crack. Only one player surviving for Grayhound as well, which means that their money is a little bit lackluster. 1900 loss bonus for either one of these teams. Not going to be in a comfortable position for either team, no matter which way you swing it, if you're dropping this round. Not really too much util to control Banana here. It's just Brace all on his lonesome, applying that util pressure, and it's a pretty big stack on the A side of the map here for Bad News Kangaroos. Anticipating some kind of jungle push here. Double smoke. Top mid smoke and a jungle smoke here for Grayhound. Oh dear.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help.
That might just be a save.
I'd say
Yep,
so.
that's a save.
But even in saying that, Bad News Kangaroos have made this decision already once in the half, and Grayhound ended up trying to hunt him down and being largely quite successful in doing so. So I don't know that Bad News Kangaroos is going to have an easy time of keeping these guns alive.
Yeah, Liaz has this deep info line on second mid. Knows that likely no one is in second mid or has made their way towards T apartments. Dexter's already making his way through murder holes, so we'll see if they do actually try to actively hunt. Dexter's already making his way to Carps. No one's pushing CT side though for Grayhound yet. So it doesn't really look like they're interested this time. Maybe they know I mean, they know how bad the money is. They know they're basically hunting down pistols and MP9s, and just the AWP would really be the only grand prize. So Grayhound here opting to instead, as you can see, their money is also a little on the shaky side. Just max guns here with the bomb plant, and that should give them enough cash to continue through the majority of this half, no matter what happens. So full save here from the Kangaroos. They're just going to re-roll this round. Give it another crack. And then with the 2.4, they can buy up into the next one. So we'll see what they can put together here.
I wonder if PZ can find a way to have an early impact in this round. Looking for something in mid. And into the apartments as well. But there'll be a nade to greet him. Minus 50 HP for PZ, or close to it at least. Lots of nade usage actually from Grayhound early in this round.
Yeah. Double airstrike on Boiler, triple airstrike towards main. Progression Molotov, isolate cats now. Pop flash is perfectly timed from Brace yet again. The amount of effective flashes he's had so far in this series has been insane.
PZ. Last line of defense over toward the A bomb site at the moment, but that is not where the offensive is going. And it's going to be Hats that'll lose his life to alistair. Kangaroos. They're trying to push their way into Banana, and indeed will be successful in doing so.
Brace has just single-handedly won them that round with the flash timing. Absolutely picture perfect. And the chain smokes lock Grayhound out of Banana for the foreseeable future. Double AWP picked up by the Kangaroos, and 2 upgrades to an AK. Massive economy swing as they move up towards 5-3. So that save in round number 7 ends up being very fruitful. And it's exactly why you've seen the popularity of this kind of save plays on this map in particular, but especially at the end of Go. And a lot of people theory crafted that with MR12 coming in and less rounds, that saves were going to be even more important.
Double AWP for Bad News Kangaroos. And once again, the early mid-smoke from Bad News Kangaroos. This time they're not actually going to push in off the back of it.
Log smoke as well. Easy on this deep apps line. With the player in Windows as well, that's Addict. He's been so active, so aggressive in Windows in second mid, and he's had such a great success rate. Yet another opening kill for the Rifler. Great crosshair placement from Liaz, though. Able to pick up PZ before he can even react. And Addict re-aggressing in this 4-on-4.
Yeah, the
Beautiful
flash.
pop flash. Oh.
Good coordination between Addict and his teammates with the flashes behind him. You sort of highlighted that on Mirage as well between Brace and Addict. This time it was hazr and Addict. In any case, Grayhound have decided to go Arch side, but they haven't yet decided which bomb site they want to end up going to. Seems it will be A. That's a good shot from Dexter to start things off. Now it's just Addict who... Oh, he doesn't really seem to be missing too much either. And gives Dexter a piece of his own medicine. How about that from Addict? Another one. And he is getting it ready to get all 5 kills in this round. Just Alistair left alive here for Grayhound, but he has managed to get the plant down. Addict is on the hunt, but it'll be Race in the end to find the frag. So ace denied, but round picked up by Bad News Kangaroos, and they will maintain quite a hefty lead. 6-3 is going to be the scoreline.
Just incredible from Addict. That's why he looks like he might be the best rifler in this region at times. Obviously need to see way more of him overseas to really justify that, but at least domestically, I think you can make that argument. Grayhound in a weird position economically. Ins and Alistair a little bit poorer than the rest of the boys, but they're going to try to put it by together nonetheless. CT side economy not looking shaky whatsoever though. Reset potential not really there. Best you can see in that regard is Hazr, who would only have 3k if they drop this one. Pace up Banana here. HE nade's going to absolutely destroy Grayhound as they make their way up. Dexter taking a big chunk. I thought they were going to be actually taking more damage than that, to be quite honest with you. But they've taken banana control nonetheless, and they're going to start trading down utility with the CT side. I say that, but look at that. Bad News Kangaroos, they don't... The single smoke to main, they don't even throw any counter util. And even a flash over the top from ins there baits out nothing.
Hazard's ready and waiting for this push onto A, and he's going to be helped out by his own Molotov and then Addict with a nade.
Jeez.
Doesn't look like Grayhound is going to be getting into A anytime soon. Addict copying a bit of aim punch there, but he's still able to recalibrate onto ins. And again, it comes down to Alistair solo, but this time he's gotten an early pick, and he might get one more. Brace giving him the 1v1. We'll win it. 7-3. Bad News Kangaroos storming ahead now in the first half of the third map.
Yeah, no planners makes Greyhound's money. Insanity. Bad News Kangaroos basically winning yet another round with just utility and good crossfire. Perfectly timed molly over onto dig side. Lump that in with the HE nade, and basically two players from Grayhound die before the round even starts. Four players down mid. Aggression up against the force buy here for Grayhound. They buy up into this one. Look at all of these players swinging out second mid. But look at the response from Grayhound, immediately calling the audible straight into PZ.
Well, the confidence is showing for Bad News Kangaroos. Molly going down is nice. PZ with a good flick, and Brace is there as the insurance to make sure that PZ survives at least as long as possible. Inevitably, Grayhound is going to get into that B bomb site. And it looks like they will also get a plant.
Planning for oranges here. Alistair trying to aggress on con side. Dexter picking up PZ's AWP. A lot of utility in play here for both teams. Molly on con side going to keep the CTs back for now.
Someone said he wins the race for Bad News Kangaroos. They're now ready to go for that retake. Hazard's got the info as to where Alistair is again. Ends up being a little bit too easy for B&K. Doesn't even really get super close, and that's going to be 8-3. One more round left to go in the half.
It's domination though, Jordan. Grayhound with the plant. Going to be given not the best buy in the world. Probably down to a couple of Galils if they want enough util to make the T side of Inferno work here. 15-5 from Addict. Having a hell of a game for himself. Which was the exact same case when they upset Grayhound last time as well. He had 100 ADR in that upper bracket win in the RMR quals. So history repeating itself here.
Pretty close map that one was, 13-10. So far, this one not looking too close. And Bad News Kangaroos would love to finish with a 9th for the half. Just to really sink the boot into Grayhound.
Util is very sparse on the T side already. Dexter trying to make a play up on jungle side. Waiting inside of the fading smoke. Carp's control taken here by Grayhound after applying a little bit of pressure towards the B side of the map. It does seem like it's going to be an A ending here, but Dexter punished for his little bit of an adventure up jungle side. Someone had to do something. They weren't going to get this round done the fair way. Most times, most Bad News Kangaroos made a bit of a misplay. So what did Grayhound do with naught but some bracket control and four pieces of util?
Well, they're going to try to end A by the looks of things, but not sure that's going to be particularly kind to them. Again, with Addict being on that site. That's just has a little peek around as the smoke blooms. Doesn't see much. There's going to be a nade into the smoke as well from Brace. And it means that vexite can't continue to progress. Eventually, as the smoke continues He gets to push his way forward, but Addict is just not missing a single shot at the moment, and Brace is looking good too. That is 9-3 at the end of the half. Dominance from Bad News Kangaroos. Welcome back. It's the second half of map number 3, and Bad News Kangaroos are doing pretty well. 9-3, the lead here against Grayhound, and given that it is map 3, it is going to be the final half. So we might be seeing Grayhound get knocked down into the lower bracket once again.
Yeah, and bit of a fight over Banana here early on. 1-for-1 as Bad News Kangaroos just pinned back in towards T-Stairs for the time being. Deciding which direction they want to be going. They've smoked themselves out of Banana, so they kind of have to make some moves towards A here. See if they're going to find some space over there. I believe this would be only the second time ever that this core has beaten the Grayhound core in a best of 3. If it was to happen here in this upper bracket game.
Well, no better chance than the setup that they've given themselves off of that first half, though this pistol seeming to be a little bit more difficult to negotiate. Generally speaking, the pistols have been a little more favourable for Grayhound. They've definitely looked like the better pistoling team, but Brace has hit himself a nice headshot there, and as they're getting the trade onto Dexter, we'll keep it at a 2-on-2. Gun rounds wise, I think we've both agreed that Bad News Kangaroos have looked a little bit more threatening there, but You'd really like to see them get the pistol here, and they might just actually end up swinging and taking the fight. It looks pretty good with Hats claiming 2 headshots, and that is double digits secured for Bad News Kangaroos, and that mountain continues to grow ever taller for Grayhound.
Almost certainly going to be a round 2 force here from Grayhound. They're so far behind, and it's CT side of Inferno. So that's what you'd be expecting to be seen. But maybe they want to play the long game. We'll see. No, out comes the force last minute. So this is what you're used to seeing. Pistols and armor. Scout comes out for alistair. Try to stall out the round with some good uses of smokes and maybe some HE nades to soften up those targets, make them a little bit more palatable for the lackluster weapons. And his Kangaroos on the precipice of, as I mentioned before, their 2nd time ever upsetting Grayhound. Last time it was on land that they won in some interesting circumstances, to say the least, to qualify for an overseas event. I remember casting that one. This time, I mean, it's only an online upper bracket game, so we'd still have to reserve our expectations for any kind of a grand final if it did actually end up happening. But it's still a pretty big win nonetheless for the Kangaroos with the addition of Hats, has to be said.
Yep, definitely some positive signs early on in the lifespan of this team. Or this iteration of the team, I should say.
It's crazy. You change, I mean, look, again, as I said, only an upper bracket game, but you change one player on each team, and this is the result you get. This is how competitive these teams are right now. It's crazy to me.
I mean, I'm not too surprised that Bad News Kangaroos is looking good with Hats. He's always been a player that I've rated. Even since he was removed from the Renegades roster, he always felt like someone that was having impact. And speaking of, Inns is certainly one of those players as well, but he'll end up losing his life, and it is just the sole defender on the site. Liaz! Double kill with the 5-7. I say just the sole defender, but if he can pull that off, then maybe this gets a bit more difficult for Bad News Kangaroos. So Hats and Hazr. Hazr now, who has been tagged down to a one-shot. They can't even get rid of Liaz. It's just going to be the full swing in from Grayhound. There's no winning this one for Hats. It's just impossible. He did a pretty good job of it, but at a certain point, there's just too many bodies that are going to get thrown at you. And so Grayhound will get themselves a cheeky pickup. Not to mention a couple of Galils as well.
Looks like one of many. Especially the Dexter iteration of Grayhound was known for comebacks and like some crazy, like rock solid mental at times. So definitely won't consider Grayhound out of this game by any means. The bomb plant there for Kangaroos. They get two AKs and a couple of digs. A little bit of util. Not the best buy you'd like to see on T side of Inferno. Not really many HE nades or mollies to help you try to progress and take map control. You have to rely on those flash timings and good duels being taken. Addict made incredibly uncomfortable over there at the room. Double nade straight on his head. Down he goes. Punished for trying to take any kind of space over towards Banana, and that's one of the AKs out of the equation, and a man disadvantage here for Bad News Kangaroos.
Might be a bit more of a difficult task to close this map out than Bad News Kangaroos had anticipated. Does seem like Grayhound aren't quite done yet. But there's a good shot from Hats. Hero AK. Been put to good use, and PZ also is chiming in with the Tech 9, so perhaps those pistols can have the impact that they did, but in the other direction. Or perhaps Liaz is just going to double down again, doing his best work from the pit, anchoring that A-bomb site really well. And even Hazr struggling to get that kill over the line, but able to survive on 1 HP as bullets weren't quite in the chamber for Liaz in the end. And that'll allow Bad News Kangaroos to get a plan on A. Price is still sort of floating around, and ooh, this could actually work out really nicely for him. Vexite's gone well out in front. No head armor either, so MP9 is just gonna charge through him. Dexter trying to win this one out against Brace. The 1v1, it's won by Dexter. Closer fair though.
Couple of plays keeping Grayhound in this one, giving them some lifelines. Money broken here for the Kangaroos. They're going to have to take a single save. Be nice for them to get a bomb plant on 2.4, but honestly, a full block save here would probably get you everything you could possibly want. Heading into round number 17. Good chance for Grayhound to build up some cash here. They're going to need it.
Vexite doing a bit of farming himself alongside Dexter. And that'll be all she wrote in that round for Bad News Kangaroos. Get it over and done with pretty quick smart. Fair enough.
Trying to... Oh, the MP9 is running up Nana, trying to shoot it. I don't think it would have made it anyway, even if he shot it perfectly. Okay. Orb comes out for Alistair. Still returning 2 of those MP9s on Ins and Liaz. Quick walk towards carpet side here for Bad News Kangaroos, who apply some util pressure towards the B side of the map, trying to deny info to the CT side. Pop flash over the top from Dexter sets up Dexter to just take a little bit of a look into Banana. But an HE nade off the back of that pop flash does take a chunk out of Dexter and pushes him back, which means that this A timing could work out really well here into the double MP9.
Pop flash over the top. Did kind of catch Liaz, but In's been able to double down, and Alistair's there as well. It's a complete shutout on the A site from Grayhound. There will be no success here for the Bad News Kangaroos.
Yeah, just couldn't clean up Ins there at all. So that double MP9 looking pretty deadly. Brace gives Liaz a quick haircut. My barber's pretty fast, but that was, I think, faster. How many guns is too many guns lost, Jordan? 5? Never mind. All good.
Let's see if Brace can do a little bit more. Not this time around. Bad News Kangaroos might be starting to scratch their head a little bit. Finding it difficult to have any success here on the T side so far. Definitely headed in the same direction as that previous series, which ended up being a 13-10 scoreline, quite a close result. The last couple of maps, as you can see there in the top right of your screen, both going 13-11. We've narrowly avoided the OTs in both of our previous maps in this series. And it does seem destined that map 3 is going to be quite a close one as well.
Nana control taken here by Dexter. Util going to keep the T's at arm's reach over on carpet side, but the hero 8K in PZ's hands opens things up towards jungle side. Now Alistair starting to get a little bit more nervous over on Dig. Liaz trying to be the rock of an anchor that he is. And the T's have to sit in Dig for the time being.
PZ see if he can work anything though with that AK. Unable to do so onto Dexter. Might not be expecting Vexite quite this close. Progressed in library. And it looks like Bad News Kangaroos will decide to reroute their way toward B.
I'm surprised Attic doesn't try to beat the Motley there. Gonna flash Dexter off the line over on Con's side. He knows he's got space to work with here. Brace has got himself an A1S as well. Dexter just playing that safe retake position. Trying to punish this T. Should he put a foot out of line? And Vexite caught one on the cross as well. Should be all she wrote. Nice sort of cleanup from Grayhound, who are definitely within touching distance of double digits now. The momentum firmly lies with them. At one point, this was 10-3 after the pistol anti-eco from the Kangaroos, I believe, right?
Yep. 9-3 at the half. 10-3 after they picked up the pistol. And since then, it has started to get a little bit more worrisome. It'll really fast into the banana from Bad News Kangaroos, and vexite will lose his head off the back of that, so much better start this time around for BNK.
What to do for Grayhound then? Progression molly for Dexter, trying to keep the T's back behind Harfall, but he's all on his lonesome here. Deep smoke into Arch side, but Ins can see that there's no one over on jungle. Boost up over the top. That's the second pick in banana that Bad News Kangaroos have got, but despite that, they don't opt to rush into B here. Still taking their time. They know they've got over a minute, just further extending their man advantage. After losing 5 in a row, they don't want to let this one slip up, but Inz's nades are always on point.
Well, the Molotov's going to go through a little bit too late to deny the bomb plant.
Just going to be a save from the rest of Grayhound.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they've done a lot of work in this half so far, so no need to get ahead of themselves and, you know, panic if they're going to drop around here. This is not the one that's going to seal the deal for Bad News Kangaroos. Greyhound's the kind of team that can back themselves and say, if we can keep our economy healthy, we've won enough CT rounds in a row to say that we can still win this map in regulation, or maybe push it through to OT if worst comes to worst. No need to do anything silly just yet.
I mean, at the end of the day, you lose vexite early on, and then that, honestly, you know, you lose the pick towards banana, always puts the CTs in a tough position. So that's just one of those rounds that kind of goes by the wayside. Only so many more opportunities here for Grayhound. At the scoreline deficit they found themselves out just after the half. Aggression into banana this time. It's a triple nade over off the main. Doesn't connect with anything. Alistair, however, is.
That's very quick up into the apartments, though. Might have to take matters into his own hands and see if he can equalize the numbers here.
They've got space in bracket. They've taken banana control. Grayhound playing very hands-off right now. They know they've got the numbers. But having the numbers doesn't necessarily mean it's an auto win on Inferno. 4v5s very commonly picked up. That's a great pick from Alistair, though.
Yep, 3-on-3 on the A-bomb site now, and so Bad News Kangaroos would need a faultless entry to give themselves the advantage in the post plant. And that seems like it's going to be a hard task to find, though. Addict able to strike, but not able to do enough. It leaves just the one member, and that is Hats against Grayhound, the team that he used to have such success in. And I don't know that this one's really going to be doable, though. He will at least be allowed the bomb plant, but completely ignores the library position, and so that'll be an easy kill for Dexter, and we're back to a 2-round deficit.
2 more guns taken away. Bomb plant and money looking pretty good here for the Kangaroos, who will undoubtedly reinvest here. All retained from Grayhound, who need to be careful on this comeback train not to lose too many guns along the way. You can see their money being chipped away at, still kind of hanging in the balance. If they lost 3 or 4 guns in one of these rounds on the comeback with 1400 loss bonus and then lost the subsequent round following, that could just be the end of the game at this scoreline. So they need to make sure they're getting through these rounds relatively cleanly. See Grayhound continually changing up their approach towards banana. It was vexite on the solo aggression, then it was the 3-man swing down with the opening pick. This time it's just little bits of util. Vexite sending Dexter in on the line. That's straight through the smoke.
Wow.
Very unlucky for the Kangaroos. But the second time they've lost that pick in banana, and the opening pick has been found in banana all of the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, what do you think about this from BNK? Maybe need to slow things down in banana at the start of the round, or
Well, they did. You could see they very much sat back and waited for the initial wave of util. Oh, hold on. That might be the answer. Adding such a quick peek straight across. That's something you see so often in CS2 at the moment. Puts Dexter in a bit of a pickle now playing around the smoke.
Oh, great angle though. He spotted out hazr. Dexter seemed to know exactly how far that smoke was going to bloom, and he's got another one. It's just madness through the smokes right now between BNK and Grayhound, and Dexter gets one more.
He shot, was that 3 or 4 people through smoke? I think it was just 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
Oh, so unlucky for BNK. That's just classic Grayhound heroics, isn't it? Like, they really didn't do a whole lot wrong. You could see, like, it's what I was saying before. The approach from Grayhound in Banana is different every time. It was like vexite deep on car. He got found early on. That didn't work. Then they went for the 3-man, you know, kind of Astralis-esque, who popularized it down Banana with the util dump and just trying to dominate that part of the map. And then that time it was more of a hands-off approach with the player on coffins with the retake flash ready and Dexter just kind of feeling out the timing and calling for util. Dexter going for the ace there is taken out of the equation, but don't think that's going to bother him too much. That's a huge, heroic round for Dexter to keep Grayhound in this contention here. And bad news Kangaroos, it's just bad luck Kangaroos right now. That's all that round was. I don't think they really did a whole lot of anything too wrong. They got to pick themselves back up from that situation and still try to close out this game. They had the opportunity to close out this series 2-0 in the last map, and with a 10-3 advantage, you thought that they were going to be able to actually win this upper bracket series, but you could start to see it slipping through their hands.
Yeah, indeed. Not over till it's over, though. All it takes is one good round from Bad News Kangaroos to secure the OT, but again and again, they're not even getting close to these bomb sites without losing players. PZ will swing, and only now does Hats get a trade. It took so long for Bad News Kangaroos to find their first inroad that it'll ultimately be a 4-on-2.
Unbelievable.
I wonder if Hats has heard vexite there just hop up. You can hear that jump. And he was quite close.
Checks the wrong angle though. There's so many things to jump on there now. Tables, chairs, bicycles. Pick your poison, mate. Race now. 1-on-4 trying to cross behind the Molotov. Does so successfully. Now trying to catch that player on the rotation. That's really heads up from him. But Dexter is doing some bloody acrobatics. Can't hit the player model.
Yep.
11-11 tack timeout used. Maybe should have seen one earlier than this, has to be said. But when you're so far ahead, guess you weren't really feeling the need of it.
Money's a little bit odd for the T side right now, so won't see a full cohort of AKs. Certainly won't be seeing an AWP out for PZ. There'll be a couple of Galils here, you'd think, to round out the util bite. This is the one. Bad News Kangaroos, they're going to have to win it.
I feel like there's been a couple of those already. I'm starting to lose hope. Progression smoke to top mid and Banana. Denying info to the CT side. Banana has been a nightmare for Bad News Kangaroos, so I don't blame them. They're not even setting foot there this round. Sitting all the way back. Looking for some carpets control. Maybe some kind of A execute on the cards here. Liaz has been pretty scary in pit though. But arguably less scary than Dexter's been in Banana the last couple of rounds. Very hands-off approach here for Grayhound, holding a whole lot of util for the mid to late rounds. So we'll see how they use it when this A play comes in.
Well, Alistair posted on the line. He's been pretty reliable so far today. And especially in this map. Just always seems like he gets that first pick for Grayhound on the CT side. Sets things up nicely. He goes again.
Kangaroos retaking banana here. They just see the smoke go up in main, and the bomb's trending over there as well. Do they just want to take banana info back off of the CTs and then end A here? You can see the rotation over towards B from Ins as alistair has gotten on this deep info line towards Dig side. Here's the B execute, but the bomb is sitting all the way back. I think Brace may go back to A here.
It depends, I guess, on how this B everything goes. If they can find some picks, then maybe that'll be on offer. It's getting messy now across the board. Hats needs to find that kill somehow onto Liaz, but low on HP, will be unable to do so, and Brace is left alone. Neither of the site entries worked for Bad News Kangaroos, and there's just no chance for Brace, even were he to get the kill. Would not have been able to have time to plant the bomb, and that is 12 for Grayhound. And we might end with our third 13-11 of the day.
That's rough, man. Whole lot of util held over in towards the mid to late rounds. Didn't really see what happened too much on B there, but I don't think Bad News Kangaroos left themselves really enough time for contingencies there. And Grayhound have been throwing exactly that at them this whole time. Problems in the mid round. Individuals making plays, multi-fragging. Alistair gets on the deep line towards the AWP. On T stairs. Progression smoke up banana. Pop flash and HE nade goes down from Grayhound. You can see Bad News Kangaroos biding their time for a banana retake here. Let's see if they're able to catch these CTs. Boost gets punished. That's a promising first pick here. Could they push this to overtime?
Looks pretty good. Good trade in the banana. Ins is in front of the smoke. Oh, it's time maybe for Inferno. We talked about it all the time back in CSGO. Hasn't exactly had a stellar map here. 13 and 7 from Ins, but that's a crucial kill as the smoke blooms, and he's going to get sent in with a flash. It's a decent one, but it's not good enough. Bad News Kangaroos were able to turn away from it. Another flash followed through by alistair, but there's no one to capitalize on it. So Bad News Kangaroo can get that bomb plant down.
So much util here for the CT side. Mollies can push these players out of position. HG could catch Hats here, but he's over towards banana side, and it's a double emo corner set up here from Bad News Kangaroos. Molly to new box. Process of elimination. Where's the Molly? Yeah, the Molly to emo. They've got no way to put that out.
Hats. The other player is low, but hazr doesn't care. The Molly, it's forced him into the swing, and he'll make it work. It's a 2-on-1 for Liaz. He's got no time. He has to go. And hazr just around the corner makes it easy for Hats to get the kill, and that is 12 apiece. It felt like we deserved an overtime in this series, and we finally got it.
Yeah, I mean, minimum 24 rounds between these teams. That's what we're getting. 11-13, 11-13, and we go to OT. Last tack timeout coming out here for Bad News Kangaroos. Going to have a bit of a chat. They've let this one kind of slip by the wayside, and this is where you need some words of wisdom. I would say actually less so wisdom and more so just riding the ship, you know. After a long best-of-3 series, we need to get the energy back up. We need to get the belief that we can win. Especially against a team that you've lost against so many times over the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
It's a really tight best-of-3. I mean,
this is a good series. This is the best, probably one of the best OC series I've watched in a while. Usually it's just Grayhound domination all day long.
And you set up that storyline, right? Where you're like, oh, you know, Rooster or Vertex, as they used to be known. They could potentially challenge Grayhound in this final. They've been looking good, blah, 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 this and that. And then it's like crashing back to reality when you actually see the game get played. Yeah. But not so today.
Sometimes you get these real good series. It's really just up to Bad News Kangaroos to show up, though. They have so far today. But their woes continue, losing the first pick on this T side. And this time it's not in banana. It's the cheeky little boost up the top of the prog smoke.
Yep. Like I said, Alice has been quite good about getting these opening picks on the CT side for Grayhound. Dexter, he's got the timing wrong there, but Alistair's going to help him out. And somehow, Grayhound get away from that without losing anybody until Addict pushes through the smoke. But it'll be a pretty routine trade for Alistair in the end. I feel like Dexter really should have gotten punished more than he was. And Bad News Kangaroos are now scrambling to get anything done. PZ went through the smoke. Pat's behind it. But it's a 4-on-1.
This is getting demoralizing for Bad News Kangaroos. You can see it. The way that they're playing, they're getting shut out. Only some of the boys are really making too many plays, and anything that was said in that TAC timeout, any words of wisdom or pump up, kind of get erased after you lose that ult pick on top banana and get shut out, on top mid, sorry, and get shut out of B.
Yep.
The momentum just continues for Grayhound. Deep smoke down the bottom of banana. Bad News Kangaroos looking to try to find that opening pick. PZ trying to do his best Zywoo impression of running up banana there, but unfortunately all that results is the T's take about 80 damage. Sorry, more than 80 damage, like 120 damage. That's stream maths for you.
Yeah, so much damage. Got to remember as well, Bad News Kangaroos did look really good on their CT side, so don't know if it's the be-all, end-all necessarily if they maybe only get one in this half, say. Grayhound will be looking for 3, no doubt about that. And they're on their way toward it. This is still looking pretty clean from them. Ins with a nice double. Alistair opened it up, and not much to really say for Bad News Kangaroos in these last couple of rounds.
They're just not, they're not even getting boots on the ground in the site, mate. They're just getting shot in the choke every time. The util timings and the crossfire peaks and individuals are reading it so well right now for Grayhound. It feels like they're really working out the pacing of this teeth side. Last chance to put even one on the board here for Bad News Kangaroos. Even if they do that, though, after getting demoralized for the last, what, 14, 15 rounds straight, almost, are they going to have the fight that they need to put up the wall on the CT side again?
Yeah, I think if they get this round, then I'm still interested, you know what I mean? But if it ends up being a 3-0, I'm prepared to probably call it there. And I guess getting this round is easier said than done. Nade is so perfectly timed.
Yeah, if it's not opening picks, it's so much damage inflicted by the CT side in the earlier portions of the round, and especially someone like Addict who's been doing the lion's share of the work here for Bad News Kangaroos on this map. And did so when they upset. You definitely don't want to be seeing him on 2 HP in a round like this. Info not there on banana here. Grayhound actually going to flash through the smoke. Dexter goes for an info play and clears all of Sandbag through the main smoke. So another different variation on the banana defense. Bad News Kangaroos in a 1-4 here. Throw the jungle wrap smoke. Start to make their way over that side of the map. Addict's been shut out of banana. The Yaz and Apps. This pick could really put Bad News Kangaroos in a bad situation here on jungle side.
Lias has been a bit of a master in the A anchor position as well. He's done really well from pit. There's another important frag from him.
Oh, B-Rap, but they're just so ready for everything, Grayhound. Do you even check this position as the T's? Oh, it's just going to get smoked off.
Not going to matter too much, it seems like. Dexter's going to have to spam through that smoke and get another kill. And then vexite, he's walked through it and gotten 2. And I think we are starting to see the end of this map materialize in front of our eyes. Addict, the only one to find a frag in this one. And he was on 2 HP the whole round. 15-12. Grayhound, it feels like they just need to nudge it over the line and it'll be done.
Yeah. Unfortunate. It's a really good effort from Bad News Kangaroos. Multiple points where they could have won this series. But there's a reason why the history between these two teams across the last 3 or 4 years is so dominant in one direction. Not only is the quality of the team in Grayhound, but when the going gets tough, Grayhound gets going every single damn time. Every time they're pushed to the brink, they usually clutch up. They're just a much more clutch team than anyone else in this region. They thrive in the pressure a lot of the time. Back on the comfort of the CT side, though, in less comfortable of a scoreline position here for Bad News Kangaroos. 0 room for error, or they are in the lower bracket here of the Chengdu qualifiers.
Well, slow approach from Grayhound. More than happy to see if they can weigh out a bit of util. Not much being thrown by Bad News Kangaroos, though. They're not feeling the pressure at this point. Now, as the smoke starts to bloom, we get the responding utility usage from Bad News Kangaroos. This is a round that is definitely going to be going down to the sort of dying stages of that timer.
Yeah.
Neither team looks like they want to move particularly quickly.
Fair bit of util being held here by the Kangaroos, despite the pressure cooker of a round that they're facing. Grayhound taking banana control, are applying pressure towards bracket. Forward position here from Hats.
Ooh,
I think he
saw
spotted the
him.
backpack.
Yep.
Ready. Molly on PZ, like he could molly him out of position, but it's not even needed.
Definitely a good kill to
Unfortunate.
get.
But maybe some good fortune is what the Kangaroos need here.
Mm-hmm. How the fortunes change when we swap sides, though a lot of space being given to Grayhound at this point in time, and Dexter will receive that flash from Liaz and get the kill on the Brace and then Addict as well.
6 seconds, they got to get the bomb.
Oh, they're not going to get it. I don't think they've got that in time. Yeah. Alistair. A hair's breadth in it, but that's a round for Bad News Kangaroos.
Unfortunate. Losing ins on the little pixel line. Little backpack or vest or something. Just edging out. Oh, it's a little things on the belt maybe. Little satchels and stuff. Fanny pack. I know you're a big fan of the fanny pack, Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
See you wearing it all the time. With the ends.
Stylish and practical.
Oh, big bite of banana. Brace. Another nice little pick and another opening pick for Bad News Kangaroos.
Oh, that triple nade onto Ins almost killed him. It's not looking so bad for Bad News Kangaroos after all, but pretty quick offensive toward that A site. Might cause a little bit of a ruckus. Sure, there is a player deficit for Grayhound, but if they get their timing right, they might be able to unsettle these A players quite nicely. And really, it's a 4-on-1. Brace is scrambling to get across. He's here now. Bit of damage done to Liaz, but Grayhound's still not committing to this site just yet. That's a big kill to get for vexite as well. Pit player down now too, and it is on to Brace. He has to multi-frag through the smoke. Alistair, bomb dropped at the feet of Brace, but this might be it. It is a 1-on-3 for PZ. And look at how low Ins and vexite are. Not a lot in it, but that is going to be enough for Grayhound. They hit 16, and that is the end of the series. Grayhound securing it 2-1. They really were put through their paces today by Bad News Kangaroos, and for a time it looked like BNK would actually be able to win that one, but again, Pilski, Grayhound do...